Virgil Ortiz, but you will see a great performance from Jaron Ennis. And then after that, I mean, we've already signed our end of the deal to fight Virgil Ortiz. You know, we sat in a room with Golden Boy. He's the future pound for pound #1 in the sport. But we need to prove it against the top names. We just did that at welterweight, and now we need to do it at 154.
The wait was finally over. Boxing fans were about to get the fight they'd been screaming for. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. Eddie Hearn made it official, and the internet exploded.
Virgil Ortiz, you know, we sat in a room with Golden Boy, with Oscar De La Hoya, with Eric Gomez, and DAZN. We talked about a deal, we flushed it out, we agreed the deal. We then put the contract to Jaron Ennis, he signed it, and we're waiting to hear back from Virgil Ortiz. Eric Gomez called me this week and said, look.
The second Eddie said those words, social media went wild. This wasn't just another fight on the card. This was the real deal. Two undefeated warriors, both hungry, both dangerous. Everything was on the line.
Purpose of the discussion. I know Golden Boy want to make great fights. For me, that's the best fight in the sport. But after this fight, touch wood, Boots comes through in style, you will see him. He will either fight Virgil Ortiz.
Eddie Hearn had been pushing hard to make this happen. He'd been talking about Boots Ennis for months, defending his fighter and calling out the welterweight division for running scared. Hearn wasn't shy about his frustration. Nobody wanted to fight Boots, and he was tired of it.
The Virgil Ortiz fight, we originally talked about it for January, but obviously he's fighting in November, so it doesn't really matter. January, February, March, you know, that first quarter of Q4 of Q1 of 2026, perfect.
Right after Boots knocked out Lima, his father and trainer Bozy Ennis went off. He revealed that he'd told Jaron to stop playing around in the ring and go straight for the finish. That's exactly what happened. Bozy made it clear the rest of the division should be worried, and Jaron's message after the fight, simple: bring me everyone with a belt.
I told Boots not to go out there and play around. Go out there and make a statement. He made the statement.
He did. Now the pressure on every boxing fan's mind is going to be what name is next.
We wait. You heard what he said in the ring?
Call out everybody.
All right, there you go.
Ideally,
we don't care. We want whoever got them belts.
When it came to Virgil Ortiz Jr., Bozy wasn't worried at all. He said Ortiz's style was perfect for Jaron, basically a gift-wrapped opponent. Ortiz comes forward and throws heavy shots, which plays right into Boots' hands. Bozy warned everyone that they hadn't even seen the best of his son yet.
Virgil gotta get past Lupin. That's what he gotta get past Lupin.
But there was an agreement already made before.
Okay, but if he don't get past Lupin, what about who we gonna fight him for?
Is Virgil's style tailor-made for Boots?
All the styles are tailor-made for Boots. But like I said, y'all didn't see nothing yet, man. You know what I mean? I told you don't go out there and play. Make a statement, like I told you.
He's much better at working the score, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had 147 for what? 10 years. 10 years. It was about time. Shooting 28. About time.
But I want Virgil Ortiz next. And if we can't get Virgil Ortiz next, I heard that Baby Cub was calling me out too. Charlo, he can get it next. Fundora. What's his name? Baccarat Bartram.
There was more coming. After destroying Lima, Boots didn't waste time. He called out the entire 154-pound division and said he was ready to move up and fight anyone. But there was one name he kept repeating: Virgil Ortiz Jr. That was the fight fans wanted, and Boots was ready to give it to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bakran has just responded to Jaron Boots Ennis' message after his fight. Check it out. He's working out. He's getting ready. And let me know what y'all think about this matchup. Jaron Boots Ennis going out to get the IBF title. You know, there's a rehydration on there. Will it matter?
Richardson Hitchens had something to say about Boots moving up to 154. He gave credit where it was due, saying Boots looked great in his new weight class and didn't lose any speed. Richardson Hitchens then shared his thoughts on what should come next for Boots. He suggested either the winner of Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Erickson Lubin, or maybe Sebastian Fundora. These were the fights that would prove if Boots really belonged at 154.
I want to see him fight either the winner of Virgil or Erickson Lubin, or maybe like Fundora or somebody. I'll be a good fight.
And what about for yourself?
I'm back top of next year, defending my world title in a big fight.
Eddie Hearn didn't hold back when asked about the Boots versus Ortiz fight. He was pumped about it and made his prediction crystal clear. Boots was going to win, but he also admitted something important. Getting these big fights for Boots at welterweight had been a nightmare. During a heated press conference, Eddie Hearn lost his cool when a reporter brought up the Boots versus Ortiz fight. The promoter was already dealing with constant questions about whether the fight would actually happen, and he'd had enough. His anger showed how badly he wanted this fight made, no matter what stood in the way.
Laura, Zayas, Abu, anyone with a belt.
Yeah, but are any of those guys realistic options?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've noticed you've asked me a lot of questions this week. Everyone's been generally negative, so we're going to put a positive spin on it. I'm the best in the business. He's the best in the business.
Facts.
I'm going to do my job. He's going to do his job.
Facts.
And I've got to do my job because I don't want to miss this opportunity to watch this guy beat everybody. And I'm going to enjoy every moment of watching him become the pound for pound number one.
Yes, yes.
When another reporter asked about his relationship with Dana White and TKO boxing executives, Eddie snapped. He called it all nonsense and said real promoters focus on making fights fans want to see, not feeding drama online.
In boxing, the majority of the revenue from the show goes to the fighter. In MMA, the majority of the revenue from the show goes to the promoter. Good luck to him. I wouldn't moan, but that's not how we work in boxing. And I'm not interested in a fake belt. I'm not interested in changing the Muhammad Ali Act. I'm not interested in changing the shape of the ring or the rules.
Eddie made it clear he wasn't interested in politics or promotional beef. He was there to deliver fights. And with Boots versus Ortiz now announced, he'd proven exactly that.
What I'm interested in is the greatness of the sport of boxing. And what you're looking at here is the greatness of the sport of boxing. I want to see fighters like Boots, who I believe can go down as generational greats, like Hagler, like Hearns, like Whittaker, like all these great fighters. He is of the same ability. And our belts matter.
Here's the truth. Jaron Boots Ennis had been getting avoided for a long time. The best fighters at 147 and 154 didn't want any part of him. Why? Because Boots was too risky for not enough reward. His skills were scary, and most fighters would rather take easier fights for similar money. Even promoters and fans admitted it. Everyone knew Boots was elite, but nobody wanted to step up and prove it. Oscar De La Hoya wasn't always sold on the Boots versus Ortiz fight. He claimed his team had reached out to make it happen, but said the other side backed out. Oscar made it clear he wouldn't believe anything until he saw signatures on paper. He was frustrated with how the talks had gone and wanted to see Boots' team actually commit.
We all know Boots doesn't want to fight Virgil. I mean, that's what happened, right? We called him out, we had a fight, and, then they backtracked. So until I see something on paper that Boots wants to fight Virgil, then I'll believe it.
When asked about it, Oscar said both sides had been talking and calling each other out, but things went sideways when Boots' team seemed to pull back. He didn't go into details, but he did say one thing loud and clear. Virgil Ortiz Jr. was the best fighter at 154 pounds. His words showed his confidence in Ortiz and his frustration that the fight wasn't happening yet.
Everybody was calling each other out, and then all of a sudden, they pulled off the Virgil, train. So, I mean, who knows what the reasons are, but look, Virgil's the man at 154. That's the bottom line. So.
But recently, something changed. Oscar went on Twitter and publicly asked for the Ennis versus Ortiz fight to happen. This was a complete flip from his earlier stance. His post got everyone talking again, showing that maybe, just maybe, this fight was finally real. Meanwhile, Boots kept winning. His fight against Usimias, a tough European fighter, proved something important. Boots showed the kind of calm control that separated him from everyone else at welterweight. Claressa Shields praised Boots for his performance and then looked ahead to the the Ortiz fight. She said she believed Boots would stay composed and do what he needed to do when the fight finally went down.
Gabar, calm down. Congrats to Boots on his first round knockout. I can't wait to see him fight against Virgil Ortiz next because I know that he gonna do what he do, so calm down.
Claressa Shields went deeper into why she respects Jaron Ennis so much. She loves fighters who want to test themselves against the best and prove they belong. Shields admitted that while she's still a big Terence Crawford fan, her respect for Boots' skills and potential is just as strong.
Yeah, Boots that guy. He did his thing. Hey, I like Boots as a fighter. And I want to see him fight the best and prove his greatness. That's what it's about. It's about proving your greatness. So, great job for him tonight. I ain't no Boots hater. I know y'all be like, oh, I love Terence Crawford. I do. That's my pound #1 fighter. But I still got a lot of respect for Boots.
Here's what made Boots' rise so interesting. It looked a lot like young Terence Crawford. Both started by dominating everyone. Both got avoided by bigger names. Both used slick styles to force their way into the conversation. If Ortiz was the test, then Crawford was the final boss waiting at the end. Eddie Hearn even made a bold prediction about Boots' future. He said Boots would take over the 154-pound division and eventually collect all the belts. After that, a mega fight with Terence Crawford. Hearn saw it as the perfect passing of the torch moment for boxing.
For sure. That's like inside 6 rounds. For sure. Fuck them all, we're going to destroy them.
Yes, yes.
And then, I know there's a few cameras. Say what we're going to do. We're going to unify at 54, at least, right? Hopefully undisputed. Then we're going to go at 60.
Yeah.
And then, we deal with that other fella.
Yeah, let's go get
him. He's still hanging around.
We'll
deal with him as well.
They in the way.
We'll deal with him as well.
Boots has been compared to Terence Crawford non-stop. Fans and analysts point to their similar switch hitting, reflexes, and ring dominance. Many call Boots the next Crawford, but Boots has made something clear. He respects Crawford's legacy, but he's his own fighter building his own story. Before his fight with Lima, Jaron Boots Ennis pushed back hard against the Crawford comparisons. People kept bringing up their similar switch hitting and dominance, but Boots wanted everyone to know he's not trying to be the next anybody. He's trying to be the first Boots.
Says that you're the heir to that throne. He said you're the next Terence Crawford in America. Do you see yourself fighting him at some point?
I'm the first Jaron Boots Ennis. You know, I ain't nobody else. You know, I'm me. Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson jumped into the debate about Boots versus Crawford. He admitted Boots was talented and dangerous, but said Crawford's accomplishments and experience put him on another level.
And, you know, obviously we're here in Philadelphia, Boots Ennis, Eddie, a couple other people, you know, called Boots the natural successor to Terence Crawford, and obviously I know your relationship with him. Do you feel that high on Boots as well, or?
Hell yeah, I think Boots is a hell of a fighter. I don't know about the natural sensation, whatever that is to Terence Crawford, I think Boots is his own fighter, Terence is his own fighter, but I think they both hell of a fighters. I've been around Boots for years, and he's the truth.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Terence Crawford's longtime trainer and corner strategist, shut down any talk of a Crawford versus Boots fight happening soon. He made it obvious. Crawford had other priorities and wasn't thinking about Boots right now. Bomac's response showed confidence in where Crawford stood and a belief that Boots needed to prove more before earning that opportunity.
No, he don't bring nothing to the table. He got our leftovers. Why would Bud want to go backwards? I wouldn't go backwards. Bud looking for bigger and better fights, so where he can etch his name in the concrete forever. I don't know, cause I really don't look at none of the welterweights since we did clear the division out. I'm done.
Fans and analysts weren't the only ones talking. Sonny Edwards shared his honest take on the growing Boots versus Crawford conversation. He admitted the potential matchup between them would be exciting, but he didn't think it would happen anytime soon.
Similar to Crawford, neither of them put a great deal of effort into selling the fight. They just bring the fight, and it has its benefits and it has its cons, but I think he's that good. Will there be a fighter that comes to maybe disrupt him? Who knows? they haven't for Crawford. So if you're talking about him as a next successor, but I don't know. I know like they're close in certain ways, but right now that's seemingly like one of the fights that you'd look to make. I think he's.
Edwards said the idea of the fight interested him, but he had no clue when or if it would actually go down. His comments mixed curiosity and respect for both fighters with the realistic doubt that comes with trying to make super fights happen.
Talented. I think he's a very, very good fighter. He's got dangerous hands, but that's not his biggest sell. He's very elusive. He's very active. He's proactive even. He's constantly making his opponents do something, making them pay for mistakes, range, timing, distance, balance, footwork. He kind of ticks all the boxes. He's one of those fighters that come into the ring with pretty much everything.
So there it is. Bomac said it loud and clear. Crawford isn't chasing Boots, and that door isn't opening anytime soon. But in boxing, things change fast. Timing is everything. Will Boots keep winning until nobody can ignore him anymore? Or will Crawford move on, leaving that dream fight behind forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Crawford versus Ennis will ever happen? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay locked in for every twist and turn in boxing's most talked about rivalry.